Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Global Radio and TV Live, and I am your host, Dr. Ravi. The number to call is 469 307 1642 1642. Well, I would like to thank our number one viewers in United Kingdom, then in the order of viewership in USA, India, Morocco, United Arab Emirates, Morocco, Canada, Thailand, Japan, Ukraine, China, Korea, and Iraq. Now, if you haven't heard your country's name, just shoot us an email and we will add you to that list. In Global Radio and TV Live, all topics are controversial or conspiracy theories. I am a scientist, so don't like any subject that is not fully based upon science. But there are certain factors that are not subject to any kind of science, and that is the main topic of today's conversation. Now, we have discussed here the existence of God, nothing more controversial in some people's mind, sighting of UFOs and aliens, JFK assassination, US debt. All are conspiracy theories and controversial topics. Two extremes, extreme skeptics and firm believers in all the subject matters. Today we will talk on a subject dear to my heart, comedy. Our featured guest is Joe Crawford, a famous comedian who runs his own TV and radio show called The Joe Crawford Show. Joe, welcome to Global Radio and TV Live.
Oh, hello, Dr. Ravi. Thank you for having me.
Well, most welcome.
I gotta say, this is my first time talking to a doctor without him having a plastic glove on.
Well, I am not planning to put any plastic glove at this time. But anyway, maybe I should have. Huh? Yeah.
Depends on what kind of exam you're going to give me, Doc.
Well, we are not going to go there. I mean, not going to go there literally and figuratively.
Okay.
All right, Joe. So let me, I was going through what you have accomplished in your life. It looks like you have been very busy for the past 10, 20 years. So tell our audience, how did you get into this comedy and talk show business?
Yeah, well, I started actually when I was 10 years old when I decided to become a professional clown. That's when I got the entertainment bug bite, I guess you can say. And then it just grew from there. I did that for 7 years. I was actually playing piano as well when I started at the age of 10, took lessons, and around 18 years old, started becoming a singing entertainer, doing singing comedy shows and entertaining all around. And then I went to college for broadcasting and studied broadcasting, worked in terrestrial radio, which you would hear on your AM FM station. And then I left the AM FM stations and started my own Joe Show radio show on line here. And it was actually a network that is still going strong, which I'm no longer on. So that's okay. I won't mention them. But it's taken me into the eighth season with the network I am now on, which is DKRN. You can check that out, dkrn.fm. But actually, the best website you should go to because you can watch my TV show there as well. It's joecrawfordlive.com. We're in our third season of doing the TV show, the eighth season, like I said, on our radio show. And it's just been a blast, and I've been blessed so far, and I hope to add many more points to that resume of long longevity here.
Okay, one question that came to my mind, and as I was reading through your paperwork here, you have been able to get all these different types of contracts without representation. Now, how critical it is to have a representation in the Hollywood or entertainment business, and how you are able to manage without one.
Yeah, you know what, that's a real good question because everyone thinks you need to have representation. And you know what? If I say you should get representation, and I'm always looking for someone to represent myself, but you have to have some kind of trust with the person as well. I've gone through some people, and the deals have gone bad where it's just hasn't worked. The stomach, you have to trust your gut, trust your heart, trust your people who are with you along with that, and make sure that they're not trying to take you for a ride. And so I've been blessed, thankfully, with everything that I've been doing with the entertaining and my contacts that I've been able to do it without the representation. Now, would I like to have representation to do a whole lot more? Absolutely, because I'm only one person and can't cover it all. But as of right now, I have to say I've gotten really far without it. But I could probably be a lot farther if I did have it as well. But Jay Leno, for example, who hosted the Tonight Show, still to this day, and never has had any representation. Look at his success too. So it's also being at the right place at the right time, I think. But I think if you can get representation, do so. But I'm on the other hand where I've been able to do it on my own without it, and it's doing good so far.
Okay, the first question I want to ask you about your early career. At the very beginning of your career, you said that the Waffles the Clown was born. And what is that did you do exactly in those early years?
Yeah, well, I ended up entertaining, doing festivals, kids' birthday parties. I was 10 years old and performing at a 10-year old birthday party, just doing magic tricks and balloon animals, and entertaining that way and bringing smiles to the kids. And that's my whole thing, and just not smiles to the kids, but even now in life, bringing smiles to everybody's lives. I mean, it's all about making everyone happy. Comedy is that little escape of the everyday real life, and I'm happy to do that. But yeah, I started as a clown, and I actually my backyard neighbors were a professional clown, and I saw what they did, and I said, you know what, I really love what they're doing. I got to ask how to do it, and so I asked them, and they taught me how to be a clown, taught me some things. I learned along the way, did that for about 7 or 8 years, and yeah, Waffles the Clown was born. Now there could have been Waffles, there could have been Chooch, or there could have been Curly. Now
Ah,
Curly we didn't want because that was the one of the Three Stooges, so we didn't want that. Then there was Chooch. Chooch in Italian means jackass, and if I did an Italian house, I don't want to be jackass the clown. And so then we ended up being Waffle the clown, and you know what? I do love waffles, so it kind of coincided together.
I see. Then the next thing that you did was theater acting, the Hobbit and the Elf King. How did you end up doing that?
Yeah, no, yeah, we did. I did the Hobbit as the Elf King. Did George Banks as the father of Mary Poppins. was in the chorus for My Fair Lady and in Oklahoma. Now, The Hobbit and the Mary Poppins were school performances, and that was 10 and 12 years old. And then later on in high school, there was community theater that we have every year. And actually, I always get asked every year, Joe, come on, audition, but I'm just too busy. I'm not able to do it this year. They're actually doing Fiddler on the Roof. Actually, our community theater's doing. But so that's how I got involved in doing that. Just anything to entertain or perform that I could do. And back then, that was, oh gosh, going back 15, 16, even a little bit longer, years ago. That yeah, oh my gosh, I'm old just trying to figure out how long that was. But anyways, yeah, I just enjoyed whatever I could do on stage, like having the spotlight on me.
I see. Yeah, exactly. Well, then it says that you started piano lessons. Now, are you learning or teaching?
No, I now teach. I was taking piano lessons. I started at the age of 10 as well. And I got my grade 8 and my grade 2 theory, and I'm able to teach that, able to teach voice as well. And I'm able to pass on the love of music to other people. And I also play an organ at a church every Sunday that I'm there. And yeah, I just anything. Music is a huge part of my life. It's like family, and then music with comedy right there. They're so close together.
Absolutely. Now, do you have a piano or keyboard right next to you right now?
I don't. It's in the other room. It's not in the
All right.
studio.
So
I wish I did.
now, if it is in the other room, means can you actually go and bring it?
Well, it's a grand piano, so
Oh, it's
I
a big
can't
one.
actually physically lift it up and bring it to you.
Okay. All right. Now, the reason that I asked, ladies and gentlemen, I was going through some of his work, and he was singing like Elvis Presley. We are going to get to it during the break. Before we get to that, what is the Santa Claus role that you played?
Well, Santa Claus is the busiest man on the planet. And
Yes.
so many years ago, Santa called me up from the North Pole and said, Joe, I can't be everywhere, but can you be one of my elves? And I said, Santa, absolutely. You never turn down the man in red. And so for many years, I've been helping out Santa Claus, doing different events wherever they may be for providing Christmas, and not even just December. There's Christmas in July that ends up happening. And Santa Claus can't be down everywhere in July as well because he's a busy man and taking care of those elves doing the workshop. So he asked me to help him out, and I said, "Yeah, no problem, Santa. Ho ho ho! I'll be there."
Okay, good, very good. Well, then comes the George Banks in the play Mary Poppins. What is that exactly?
Yeah, that was back when I was with The Hobbit, like I said, and then a couple years later, the George Banks. If anyone knows the infamous Julie Andrew, or yeah, Julie Andrews, I think it is, and
Right.
Van Dyke there, Dick Van Dyke, Mary Poppins. I ended up being the father of the two kids for the theater play for Mary Poppins. This is going back in school years, and that was just a blast. That I gotta say is my all-time favorite musical, all-time favorite movie, and to be able to be the father of two kids, were the main leads of that. That was just a blast.
Very good. And then the Joe the magician was born. Parties with magic and balloons. Now, magic is something that I learned myself, so I know exactly how much fun it is to be able to fool people.
It is, and I'll do a little one right now. Like there's the thumb. We'll take the thumb, and then there we go, and it's sliding all over the place.
uh, that's very funny. But are you good at the card tricks, playing cards?
I suck at playing cards, but for card tricks, yes, I could do some good cards. I love card tricks. I'll do coin tricks where the coin disappears or whatever else, and I love doing the card trick. I like doing more like you do like the buskers. So you're walking around something that's small in your pocket that you can have and do and whatever else, and then enjoy. It's a lot of fun.
Very good. Well, the next question I have for you is the chorus group Oklahoma. What was that all about?
Well, that's a community theater that they did, and the musical is Oklahoma, and Annie Oakley is in it, I believe, and so there's different parts, and I didn't want to be in the major part because the time of my life there I was in, I just couldn't afford to be into a full time part. It was a lot going on, but the chorus I wanted to do, so I enjoyed that, and any. I'm a huge fan of country and western, so any country and western type of musical, I'm going to be in it.
Okay. Well, we also saw you as Dolly Parton in one of your shows. And can you go ahead and set up the scene for our audience, and then we will go into that clip for a second? Joe, are you still there? Well, Joe is not there, so we are going to play that clip, and then we will wait for him to get back. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Joe, and he was acting as Dolly Parton. We do have Joe back in line. Before we get back to him, we are also going to play one other portion. Well, let's get back to him. Joe, are you there?
I'm here. Hopefully you can hear me now. We're okay.
Yes, I can hear you now. We are okay. Now tell me
Okay.
exactly how that Dolly Parton show came about.
Yeah, I that was my 10th anniversary singing comedy show that we did, and that was going back now in 2011. So I just love dressing up and doing impersonations. I'll do Sonny and Cher, Tina Turner, Elton John, Elvis Presley, and I get these things. My mind is like a hamster on the wheel, and it keeps on turning. The hamster keeps on running all the time, and I'm thinking of different ideas. And the Dolly Parton happened to be one of those ideas, and it's a fan favorite. Everybody tends to love it, as you can see.
Absolutely, yes. The next one I want to show is Elvis, one of my favorite. So let's take a look. All right, Joe, that was great. So your piano and singing lessons have really paid off. It looks like it.
I have to say they actually have, and Dr. Ravi, actually, I've never have, believe it or not, I've never personally have had a voice lesson ever.
Oh, really? That's absolutely incredible.
Yeah, so I'm not to say that I'm the best singer in the world and that stuff, but I've practiced and I'm musically inclined with my ear and everything else, and trying to make myself on tune. But yeah, I kind of practice a lot on my own, but the piano lessons have definitely paid off as well.
Very good. Now the calendar girls and that's life is something else I was looking at. Set the scene for us. What is that exactly about? These are a few years ago, but I think they are still pretty funny.
Oh, I do that almost in every show, the calendar girls that I do, and I am so excited because I end up getting the audience. I'm all about audience participation, as you've seen in the videos there so far, and I invite three ladies to come up on stage, and I do a little chat with them and that, and of course they don't know how to sing, they don't want to sing, they're nervous for being up there. I try to relax them, calm them down, and we do a little bit of conversing back and forth, which can end up being funny, and we sing Neil Sedaka's Calendar Girls, and they end up doing the months of the year. They say the months, and I sing, and it ends up being a riot because sometimes there's always a goof along the way up, and they goof it up, and we have a lot of fun. It ends up being a skit that should probably be 3 minutes, but ends up being about sometimes 5 to 10 minutes how we go.
Okay, well let's take a look because I think that's pretty funny.
All right, thank you very much. Let's give a round of applause for Brenda, please. Our next one. And your name now is everybody knows? Kathy. That is correct. Very good. I hope.
So this would be one of three girls. Should I move forward to the?
Yeah, we can move forward to them singing, and this is like when we're talking or whatever.
Okay.
And this isn't planned or anything. They're just picked right from the audience at random.
At random. Okay, let's continue this.
Every day of the year. Okay, let's dance. No. You bring it up. Let's go. We can dance. Come on, dance. Come on, dance a little bit. You're getting married pretty soon. You have to dance anyways. Come on. All right. Here we go. Yeah. I'm off in the world. I love my little calendar girls every day of the year. Ready, 2, 3, 4. Light the candles at the sweet 16. October, Juliet on Halloween. November, you think that you belong to me. December, the Christmas gift neath my Christmas tree. Yeah. My heart in the world. I love to be at the center of the girls every day. Every day of the year. Let's give each other an applause.
Okay.
Oh, that's life. That's what people say. You're riding high in April, shot down in May. But I know I'm gonna change that too. When I'm back on top in June, I sail that line. As life and I can deny it. I thought of quitting, baby, but my heart just won't buy it. And if there's nothing comes shaking this July, I'm gonna hop on a big bird and then fly. I've been a puppet, a popper, a pirate, a poet, a pawn and a king. I've been up and down and over and down, and I don't think each time I
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Global Radio and TV Live. And we are now getting back to Joe Crawford. We were listening to different types of music and also his own songs. He seems to be an accomplished singer, pianist, and every other musical talent you can possibly think of. Joe, are you still there?
I'm everything that you said except for tech savvy. I don't know what's going on here.
Ah,
Skype is going crazy.
well, we are covering up all our faults carefully so that the show never stopped. The show went on. Our show is going on.
Well,
So,
that's good.
okay, so we showed the Elvis Presley part and the Calendar Girls and Dolly Parton, and the show has not stopped yet. We will continue with a few other things. Now, the most important thing for any comedian, in my opinion, or anybody's in that particular field, is comedy shows, especially be able to show up on the improv or one of those famous places. Now, not necessarily you need to get to Los Angeles or New York City to do this. You can probably do it in your local community, which will give you the sufficient experience. So my question is, when did you start traveling and performing and singing in comedy shows?
Yeah, I started traveling around about 10 years ago, and in that, it actually is known more so because in 2007, I was down in Austin, Texas, in an online comedy competition. Was the only Canadian comedian out of 256 people, and people had to vote for you to go on, and I placed third overall for that. And then also, I just recently nominated, and we're going to North Carolina next week. We're leaving November 12th, actually, believe it or not, on down to North Carolina, the Heritage Awards, and I'm nominated there for Best Comedian for 2014. So that
Very
exposure is even just getting bigger and better yet too, and a huge award show, and I'll be seeing a lot of industry people down there too. So, but it started about 10 years ago, and I've traveled as far down south as Texas, as far west as Alberta, Canada, as far east into Montreal, Canada for the Just for Laughs Comedy Festival, and as far north Ontario in the province that I live in for about 8, 9, 10 hours north.
okay. Most important question: how do you actually deal with a situation when the jokes bomb? That means you are expecting a big laugh from your audience and they don't laugh. How do you handle it?
Oh, that happens sometimes, and thankfully not a lot. A lot of my audience members are seniors, so they can't hear a word that I'm saying, so that's okay. I'm just joking, but no, you end up just moving right along, or you make something light of it that was done, or you just you turn. I end up sometimes just turn around and look at what they're looking at or whatever else, and like. Oh, you guys, you saw that too, or whatever. Okay, no problem. And yeah, you just move right along from it. You just don't have to say that joke again. But here's the thing, though, too, Dr. Ravi, that you can say a joke somewhere one night, even in the same club, and it will get the biggest laughs ever. The next night, you do the exact same thing, and it can bomb totally.
Oh,
So it
really?
all depends on the audience and everything else like that.
All depends upon audience and how many drinks they had and so on.
The more you drink, the more I sound funnier, the better I look. You know, I'm on a diet now myself, an Irish and Scottish diet. It's a whiskey diet. I've already lost 3 days, but that's all right.
Okay. The next question. Sometimes I noticed when the big comedy shows, the Jay Leno shows, etc. The joke bombs, but when they recover from that bombed joke, that recovery is sometimes a lot more funnier than the actual joke itself. Is there any situation or is there anything specific you can tell our audience regarding that or any of the highlights in your career?
Well, oh my gosh, trying to pinpoint one, I really can't really think of one. I'm kind of pinpointing one of a it was a bomb, but it was actually back to all the important thing again. And I had the balloons were shifting all over the place,
Okay.
and they were going everywhere. And I actually had a woman give me her bra, She literally took off her bra and gave me her bra. Now I went on a tangent about when you get older, your body goes down south and gravity doesn't work for you. And I go on about women and their body parts sagging and dragging, and that became a lot funnier than the actual Dolly Parton itself.
I see. Okay. What are the other highlights in your career? For example, is there something that you cannot forget? So something that unexpected happened while you were doing the show, or somebody you met, somebody famous, or somebody said that you are going to be great, this, that, and everything else, or any kind of special meetings, anything like that?
I I get a lot of those, believe it or not. I've been hosting my talk show, especially the radio show and the TV show, for a long time, and a lot of the different huge guests that we get on, from Howie Mandel, Wayne Brady, Colin Mockery, Wanda Sykes, Wayne Martindale, Bob Eubanks, all of them are always willing to want to come back on. And Tim Conway, Carl Reiner, like these are all big, huge names in the industry. And even Wink Martindale, the game show host, he's now called me a friend. And I'm like, really? Like this is insane. Who knew that I'd be friends with the game show host legend Wink Martindale? And another one is an awesome experience. I was able to sing with talk show host and entertainer Regis Philbin from Who Wants to Be a Millionaire back in the day, and from Live with Regis and Kathy Lee, and then Regis and Kelly. And that was a huge experience and honor to do that as well, to get called up on stage by Regis. This was back in '07, and we sang a couple Christmas songs at the casino on stage, and I didn't know that was actually going to happen. I told him to be there in the audience, had no idea he was going to call me up on stage, and I sent him my Christmas CD. Actually, I have a new CD as well that's out that people can buy. It's called Dreaming with Joe Crawford. People can go to my website, joecrawfordlive.com, and can buy that there. But yeah, and to have Regis call my name up and sing with him, that was just another honor as well.
Okay, the Joe Show, which is a TV show, correct? And when did you start it? And how is the reception?
Yeah, the TV show is, I still say it's fairly brand new. We're in our third season. We started 3 years ago. I got signed on with a TV network online in Toronto, and so I did a year with them. I left after the year contract was up, and it was well received. And I said, you know what, I could probably do this on my own, and I made my own production called JT that can be seen exclusively through my website, joecrawfordlive.com. And it was we did two test pilot shows, one with Todd, game show host Todd Newton, and another group of a musical group called the Tokens. They sing "The Lion Sleeps Tonight,"
Yes.
and so we did two pilot shows with them, and that was well received. So we moved on to do the second season of the Joe Show, which was the first season on my own, and so that went really well. We're getting a lot of viewers across the states, a lot of viewers across Canada. Hopefully, we're getting picked up now by many viewers that you have as well to go watch. And we just are in the beginning stages of our third season. We have about four shows in. We have our Halloween show up right now, where we have Canadian country artist Chelsea Christ. And we are looking forward to a new adventure that's going to be taken with the Joe Show TV show, because we just had a global network come to us and say, look, we want to have the Joe Show on our network, and it will be online still exclusively through my website, but it will guarantee more viewers and a bigger audience. And so that's what we're hoping for, and that's going to start for January 1st, 2015.
When in the Joe Show, you did a pumpkin show, on I guess it's on a Halloween day or something. You are carving the pumpkins. When did that show did you do it? Because we are going to show a clip from to our audience so that they can appreciate what you have been doing. Let's take a look at that show, and then we will come back and talk about it.
Sounds good.
For you today, and Chelsea Christ is with us, Canadian country singer. Hello, Chelsea.
How are you?
Good, good. Now, I hope you don't mind, because it's our Halloween show. We're going to carve pumpkins.
That sounds like fun.
Okay, awesome. So, anyways, well, we're going to carve the pumpkins, we're going to talk and whatever else. So, I know you have a new... Go ahead, get busy. I know you have a new album coming out soon again, or a new song, or what's going on with you?
I do. I just released my newest single there. That's lovely.
Sorry. You just released your new single.
I did.
Okay, yeah, tell me a little bit about your new single.
It's called Doing to Me.
Okay, and...
It's fun.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's much different than four-wheel drive.
How is it different than four-wheel drive?
It's very upbeat and kind of edgy.
How so by edgy? What do you mean by edgy?
Well, you know, those guys that do you wrong, we're kind of telling them off from this one.
Alright. Interesting. If people want to, I mean, I know they can hear it on...
All right, Joe, tell us who is this lady and how did you get hold of her, and when was this show done?
Yeah, this show was done last week. This is Canadian country artist Chelsea Kreitz. And I know Chelsea personally and knew her since she was 2 years old and growing up. And a beautiful, beautiful singer. She's been in the country scene now across Canada for the past couple of years and making a great name for herself. I've had her on before in the past on the radio show. And so we had her on the TV show. I called her up and I said, Chelsea, we're gonna carve pumpkins. You're gonna be on our Halloween show, and so it's on actually now streaming on Joe Crawford Live TV, on JoeCrawfordLive.com on JTV. Sorry, and yeah, you can check that out. And all the shows are all on there. They're always archived. So if you missed a show, you can check that out. And actually, we have a new show coming up. I'll be streaming this week with a musical group called The Real Trio. They're a Canadian Latin jazz pop music group, and so we're looking forward for them being on the show.
Very good. We are also seeing some other program of yours. It has something to do with food. It says, at the beginning of the show, it says delicious, and you are standing there in a red shirt. Tell our audience exactly, so you can see that picture there right now. Tell our audience exactly, set the scene up for this. How did you end up doing this show?
Yeah, we along with doing in-studio shoots, we will go on location, and especially if there's food involved, I am definitely going to be there. And especially when it's free food, when you're the media, it's like a bonus. But yeah, we got a hold of the people in Toronto that were running the Food Network and the Delicious Food Show, and they had a variety of chefs all weekend long that were coming from the Food Network, from Nadia G., from Bitchin' Kitchen, and also from Bite This, and also Mario Patelli from The Chew, and a whole bunch of other different type of chefs, along with different events that they had of wine tasting and vendors. And I'm always about promoting local stuff. So they had a great section of local food, local produce, local vendors promoting local food, and that was a lot of fun as well. And that's the whole thing about the Joe shows, to have fun, to enjoy, to get information out there, but to also have you have a good laugh or two with at my expense.
Let's take a look.
Whole new level. If you've been following me as I've been hosting Niagara Dines, this is bigger and better yet. We are at the Direct Energy Center in Toronto at the Delicious Food Show. Let's head on in and see what's cooking.
Canada, we're going to be at the 5th annual...
Salute. Thank you.
Come on! Big money!
Low, 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 low! No, no!
Yeah, right!
So what better way to have food celebrated at the Delicious Food Show is, of course, Delicious Street. Everyone has gone to a food truck once at least in their life. I think so. And we're going to hit up a couple of these food trucks right now. And come with me here. I think we got our first truck here. I think it's Mexican.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you? Come on in. Come on down here.
How are you?
Good. What's your name?
Pablo.
Pablo. From Mexico?
Yeah, I'm a Mexican, yeah.
Nice. Now, what kind of food are we, of course, Mexican food, but what kind of food are we featuring here at the Delicious Food Store?
Today we have like tacos,
Okay.
tamales, burritos, and tortas.
Nice.
That's the more popular dishes back in Mexico.
What's a torta?
A torta is like a bread filled with Option of meat, comes with lettuce, tomato, onion, things like that.
Nice.
It tastes delicious.
Nice. I got to tell you a joke, and don't get offended,
Okay,
all right?
okay, fine.
But have you ever heard of the Mexican forecast? It says chili today, hot tamale.
No.
Anyways, that's a bad joke. I apologize.
You want to talk about jokes bombing, Dr. Ravi? There you go. Never tell a Mexican a joke about his weather forecast.
There you go. Well, that's okay. Our audience are broad-minded. They don't mind joked about themselves. And I as an Indian, there is a lot of jokes about Indians, especially in Canada and US. That doesn't bother me a bit,
Good.
because that's the way it should be anyway. Let's go with the next one. The ultimate aim or the goal of any good comedian, I would think, is to be able to appear at least once or twice in the nationally syndicated shows like Jimmy Fallon or who else is out there. I think
Oh,
Jimmy Fallon is the only one right now.
Jimmy
So,
Fallon, Jimmy Kimmel,
Kimmel,
there's
yes.
Conan O'Brien, David Letterman,
Yes,
Craig Ferguson.
yes, and Seth Meyers.
Yeah, Seth Meyers as well, yes.
Okay, so if suppose just to find out, isn't it difficult to get on those shows as an opening comedian for them?
Oh my gosh, absolutely. You definitely better have representation for that. I mean, they're not going to pick anyone who doesn't have representation, and you need to have a good track record as well. I mean, I got a good track record. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, you need to have the right representation to get you into those shows because yeah, the contacts and the availability because everyone's trying to get on the show. Everyone wants to make it that big, and you got to make yourself a little bit different than that other person so you can actually get on there. And yeah, it's a difficult. I've tried some shows. I've gotten on some Canadian shows here, and but who knows? I'm not done yet. I got many good years in me that will maybe see me on Jimmy Fallon or on Jimmy Kimmel or on any of those other ones.
Absolutely. The question is then, when you go on to these shows, one of the serious or significant expectation from those shows is that you have to be a original comedian or be able to come up with the original comedy, and that is not copied from somebody else, not even resembling any other existing comedian or past comedians' work. So, in order to do that, how do you think you would be planning this? Because one of these days I would like to see you in one of those shows. So, are you going to start writing jokes?
Yeah, I also am running jokes actually when we go to the Heritage Awards on the 15th in North Carolina, and you can check that out online, folks. It's the Inspirational Network and Sky Angel Faith and Family TV at 7 p.m. Eastern. I'm going to be doing a little bit of stand up there, and I do a little bit of observational comedy, and that's the kind of the best comedy. A lot of people do observational comedy, but everyone has different things happen in their lives. And I joke around because my mother and my mother's the old Italian type of mother. I joke around. If you really want to get the picture of what my mother is like, it's like the mother from Everybody Loves Raymond, but I'm the only child. So my mom is very overbearing and always in my business. I love her very much. But we go driving around one time, my mom and I, and she's telling me to slow down because she sees a sign that says "Caution, Deaf Child." And so I turn to her and I say, "What?" And she goes, "Joe, slow down. The sign said "Caution, Deaf Child." And I said, "What?" And she says it again, and I'm like, "What?" She finally catches it the third time, and I said, "They should put a sign on your street saying "Caution, slow lady." So things like that, observational, but little humor as well.
That's very funny. So you're saying that you need to write your own jokes pretty much, and compile all of them, and then come up with the comedy that is situationally aware, so that you look around and what's going on around you and make comedy according to that.
Absolutely. And if you follow me on Facebook and on Twitter, you can do so by going to my website, joecrawfordlive.com. I always come out with these one-liners that my mind is going like crazy. And usually during the night when I'm sleeping, my mind is working, writing down all this stuff. And I'll throw those one-liners on Facebook. I'll throw those one-liners on Twitter. And a lot of people enjoy it. Excuse me. Some people get offended, but That's okay because as a comedian, you want to make sure that you're covering all your bases, and
Yes.
and by the end of the day, that everyone does enjoy it. So, and also, if people go to our Facebook page and like the Joe Show page, no matter where you're from, we're always giving away prizes. So make sure you like the Joe Show page. It's facebook.com/Joe Show Live. Like the page because we give away prizes all the time. Right now, we're going to be giving away a $50 gift certificate. I forget to where it is, but I know the last one we just gave away last week because we hit the 700th like mark was a $50 iTunes gift card. So we're giving away lots of prizes all the time, and especially Christmas coming around, there'll be a lot of bonus prizes to give away. So make sure that you like the Joe Show page.
Very good. The Joe Crawford show website is right there, ladies and gentlemen. Here's how it looks.
That's the Heritage Award that we're going for
Okay.
on November. And I say we, it's my mother and I who's going and nominated for in November 15th in North Carolina. That's the Heritage Award.
Very good. Hey, congratulations, really.
Thank you. Yeah, just being nominated is just an honor, and didn't expect to be nominated. And I didn't believe it at first when I got the email. I thought it was like one of those fake emails saying, "Give us your information, and we'll put €1 million in your bank account."
Very good. Now here is this album that we talked about a little earlier, "Dreaming with Joe Crawford." Where can they find this?
Yeah, right now you can find it just online through my website exclusively, and it's $10, and it's $10 to whatever your currency is. So if it's rupees, 10 rupees. If it's US, $10, 10 pounds, whatever. It's 10 whatever, and you can buy it, and it's going to be on iTunes in 2015. They're all cover songs that deal with the word dream in it. So whether it's from, again, we go back to Broadway, to Any Dream Will Do, or there is the Monkees, Daydream Believer, Elvis Presley, If I Can Dream, and the whole thing is pretty much dream no matter how big it is, and keep at it and work at it hard enough, and you can actually make it happen. And I'm living proof of that right now, Dr. Ravi. I'm doing what I love.
Very good. Now, if they want to book you for a special event in the Toronto area or anywhere in Canada and US,
anywhere in North America, basically.
okay, and they just have to call this number that we just put up on the board there, and
Exactly.
they can call you and they can book the reservation and get you going.
They can, and you know what? 2000, we're already booked for 2014 to the end. We're not taking any more bookings. We got I got a Christmas show that I'm doing with a lovely partner of mine. Her name is Rochelle. We're doing a Christmas singing comedy show, and we're doing that, taking that on the road, and we got about 4 or 5 dates. And then I know 2015, there's already bookings coming in. So by all means, get it in now. I DJ, I MC, comedy, singing, entertaining, anything basically of entertaining except for stripping. People pay to keep my clothes on.
Okay, so there are a lot of things that are going on, ladies and gentlemen. Let's take a short break here, and we will be right back in about 2 minutes, and then we will continue this conversation. We will put Joe's. Where is the other one? Let's see. There it is. So let's put this information up on board. Where to look for Joe if you want to go ahead and book him for any of your shows, right there, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, we will be right back. Joe, please stay on the line.
I will. Thank you. I gotta get my.
In the jungle, the mighty jungle, the lion sleeps tonight. In the jungle, the quiet jungle, the lion sleeps tonight. Near the village, the peaceful village, the lion sleeps tonight.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Global Radio and TV Live. I took us some time. If you see that little gap in the show, that's because I was looking for the song that Joe likes very much, The Tokens. So we finally found it, and then we played it for him. And as he was not watching it, I actually put him on the screen, but he was not knowing it for another about 15 or 20 seconds. So you can see him dancing to it. So that was very, very good.
We were having a death party.
Yeah, really, that's not bad. Very good. All right, listen. Let's come back. Let's get. The time is flying so much, so fast. It's only 1 hour left. I mean, I'm sorry. 1 hour is passing by very quick. Only 10 minutes left. So in the last 10 minutes, we are going to ask him. What are the latest things that have happened in your life in 2014, and what is in the future for you in 2015? Those are the two questions.
Well, the latest things that have happened in 2014, big thing in comedy. I like to put out there that I tricked over at least 5,000 people on April Fool's Day, telling them they thought I was having a baby, but I wasn't having a baby. It was that was just a joke in itself. But no, you know what? 2014 has been a great year for me. Did a lot of traveling. We celebrated our 250th Joe Show radio show on DKRN, and just did a lot of touring around. It's been a great year. I've been very blessed. And in 2015, coming up, is just going to be more entertaining. The Joe Show TV show is going to be signed on with a whole new network. Still exclusively, though, on JTV through my website, joecrawfordlive.com. But, yeah, it's going to be taking things to a whole new level and just bigger and better things. And especially this Heritage Award. Who knows what's going to come from that? Going to be meeting a lot of industry people as well. Chubby Checker will be there, Gloria Gaynor, and many more. And I'm looking forward to it. It's just another step in the right direction for the career. And we'll see what happens. You just got to go to joecrawfordlive.com and find out more more about Joe.
Well, this is very important because an award like that, no matter what the situation is at the ultimate end, just to be nominated for this is a great honor. I do agree with you, and it's great. Congratulations. I hope to see that you get something out of there. Let's say, at least the industry contacts would be ideal.
Yes.
And that will propel you forward to the next stage. The Remix TV, is it Remix TV?
Remix TV.
Yeah, Entertainment Extra. Exactly what is it? Entertainment Extra on Remix TV.
Yeah, that was our first season of the Joe Show that we did on the TV show. And so we interviewed many different guests. Oh my gosh, if you ever get a chance to go, it's still online on YouTube, and look at the interview I did with Gilbert Godfrey. That was a hilarious interview, and we've interviewed many other different celebrities on the show. And I only had a 1-year deal with them. I signed a 1 year. They wanted to renew it. I said no, thank you. And that's what kind of snowballed and began the birth of the Joe Show TV show that it is today, of what it is.
Now, you said that we can. Yeah, I think we have a piece of that. So it's probably a very long one, I would think. Let's take a look here. See if you can see this. And the sound is not on. While that is going on, you just interrupt where you need to talk. Go ahead.
Yep.
Is this the show?
that's the intro to the entertainment extra that we did with the online network. Remake TV is still going strong in Toronto. I do wish them all the best, and yeah, I just didn't want to continue on with them anymore. And the Gilbert Godfrey with this season, this was my favorite episode that we did, and it was like nonstop laughter for like half an hour.
Joe Crawford here on Remake TV, show 11,
Well, move it up a little
legs
bit, and we'll go to
11,
Gilbert.
and how appropriate
Maybe
talking
go
about legs
12 minutes
because
into it.
You said 12 minutes?
all
Yeah,
together.
we'll go 12 minutes into it or whatever.
If
There we
Big
go.
Brother was calling you, from the...
Is this the part or you go further out?
Yeah, that's Gilbert. Yeah, we can leave it here.
Can you click that button? No, the one next to it. Do you hear me now? No? Okay. What I want you to do is go to... I'll call you, and then you press the red button, alright? Because I've got some top government plans. But what you'd have to do... No, can you hear me? Because you're looking in the other direction now. Oh, now I lost your picture altogether. If you can hear me, I'm going to call you back and then press the blue button, upper left-hand corner. Okay.
And that's the life of Gilbert Godfrey with Skype.
Yes. Basically,
As a matter of fact, I can say that we just now in this show went through the same problem. We didn't have enough sounds. Let's
Absolutely.
you'd be here. And then be, oh, okay. Yeah, all right. Oh, yeah, that is the right one. That go. That's not New York. Yeah, in fact,
No?
yes,
Now,
yes,
at the early
that is correct.
So were you all...
at the early part you were there. Now it looks like a very long show. It's almost to 30 minutes.
Yeah, I kind of keep the shows to 30 minutes. We sometimes go, like the food show is about 40, 45 minutes. Our Christmas show last year went to almost a full hour. But we try to do a 30-minute mark. Anywhere between 20 and 30 is our goal. And that's a long enough show because that's what you kind of see on TV. We want to get the same thing.
Now Gilbert, where was he? Was he in Toronto at the time, or he was somewhere else through Skype?
Went through Skype. He was in New York.
Okay.
And he was coming to Toronto to the Yuck Yucks.
I see. So, in other words, he is such a presence of mind comedian that he understood what was the problem with Skype, and he made up the entire show on the basis of trying to deal with Skype. Was it?
Basically, the first 5 minutes of the interview is how to deal with Skype because we had so many problems with Skype. Like we've had a couple drops here of this phone call and this interview, and he was exactly right. And he went on a tangent with it, and that's what comedians tend to do sometimes. They go on a tangent on a certain subject and they go off.
What did he talk about at the latter part?
We talk about him being on Howard Stern. We talk about him being the parrot on Aladdin. How he used to be the voice for the duck on for Aflac, and how he got fired because of the tweets that he made for the tsunamis in Japan, and his DVD, I believe, called Rubber Balls and Liquor. And yeah, it's just it was just a great, fun, full interview.
Well,
So, at Yuck Yucks, I want to thank you very much. I tell you, you're making Gene Simmons jealous. Gilbert, you take care, and I look forward on all your next adventures that you have going on and following you.
Thank you. Oh, I'm sorry. My video.
okay, so are you coming up at the end?
No, that's all it is at the end of there. But
Okay.
I also make a joke to Gilbert telling him that if you rearrange his last name, Godfrey, it's very convenient that it could be got fired because he got fired from doing the voice of the duck from Aflac.
Exactly. Well, so next year he seems to have a lot of things planned out for you, and the show, the award show, and everything else coming up when is the show, in November?
Yeah, the Heritage Award show is on November 15th, the Inspirational Network and Sky Angel Faith and Family TV. Check your local listings. You can check my TV show on JoeCrawfordLive.com. Every week we put up a new episode. And also the radio show, The Joe Show, is live Wednesday nights, 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern on DKRN.FM. And you can also listen to it on your mobile device anywhere you are. No downloads or apps needed. It's totally free. It's just DKRN.FM. Give that slash and mobile.
Very good. Joe, it's been a pleasure for you to join me in Global Radio and TV Live, and our audience have now some interesting perspective on a future comedian who is going to be very famous, hopefully all over the world.
Well, thank you very much. It's an honor to be here with you on the Global TV and Radio Network. And just want to throw one more thing out there, because I know you have some Iraq listeners and they're in the bottom of the country there of the listenership. But why don't they teach driver's ed and sex ed in Iraq on the same day? Because they don't want to wear out the camel.
All right, there you go. Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here. Joe Crawford, comedian and magic show, everything else he does. He is a very successful entertainer, and he also has his Joe TV show, and you can find him at the website JoeCrawfordLive.com and also in YouTube. Ladies and gentlemen, we will be right back. Joe, please stay on the line for a couple of more minutes until we close the show.